In Greek mythology, Atlas was the Titan god of endurance and astronomy, condemned to hold up the sky for eternity after the Titanomachy. Although associated with various places, he became commonly identified with the Atlas Mountains in northwest Africa. Atlas was the son of the Titan Iapetus and the Oceanid Asia Clymene. He had many children, mostly daughters, the Hesperides, the Hyades, the Pleiades, and a nymph Calypso who lived on the island Ogygia. According to the ancient Greek poet Hesiod, Atlas stood at the ends of the earth towards the west. In contexts where a Titan and a Titaness are assigned each of the 7 planetary powers, Atlas is paired with Phoebe and governs the moon. Hyades emphasizes the primordial nature of Atlas by making him the son of Ether and Gaia. Atlantic Ocean means Sea of Atlas, while Atlantis means Island of Atlas. Etymology. The etymology of the name Atlas is uncertain. Virgil took pleasure in translating etymologies of Greek names by combining them with adjectives that explained them. For Atlas's adjective is durus, hard, enduring, which suggested to George Doig that Virgil was aware of the Greek tau lambda nu alpha iota, to endure. Doig offers the further possibility that Virgil was aware of Strabo's remark that the native North African name for this mountain was Duris. Since the Atlas Mountains rise in the region inhabited by Berbers, it has been suggested that the name might be taken from one of the Berber, specifically Adra Mountain. Traditionally, historical linguists etymologize the ancient Greek word tau lambda alpha sigma as comprised from copulative alpha and the Proto-Indo-European root *telh2 uphold, support, and which was later reshaped to an NT stem. However, Robert Beeks argues that it cannot be expected that this ancient Titan carries an Indo-European name, and that the word is of pre-Greek origin, and such words often end in ant. Punishment. Atlas and his brother Menetius sided with the Titans in the war against the Olympians, the Titanomachy. When the Titans were defeated, many of them were confined to Tartarus. But Zeus condemned Atlas to stand at the western edge of Gaia and hold up the heavens on his shoulders, to prevent the two from resuming the primordial embrace. Thus, he was Atlas Telamon, enduring Atlas, and became a doublet of Ker's, the embodiment of the celestial axis around which the heavens revolve. A common misconception today is that Atlas was forced to hold the earth on his shoulders, but classical art shows Atlas holding the celestial spheres, not a globe. The solidity of the marble globe borne by the renowned Farnese Atlas may have aided the conflation, reinforced in the 16th century by the developing usage of Atlas to describe a corpus of terrestrial maps. Variations. In a late story, a giant named Atlas tried to drive a wandering Perseus from the place where the Atlas Mountains now stand. In Ovid's telling, Perseus revealed Medusa's head, turning Atlas to stone when Atlas tried to drive him away, because Perseus, who went there accidentally and asked Atlas for hospitality, named himself a son of Zeus, and a prophecy said that a son of Zeus would steal the golden apples from Atlas's orchard. As is not uncommon in myth, this account cannot be reconciled with the far more common stories of Atlas's dealings with Heracles, another son of Zeus, who was Perseus's great-grandson and who sought for the golden apples. According to Plato, the first king of Atlantis was also named Atlas, but that Atlas was a son of Poseidon and the mortal woman Cleito. A euhemerist origin for Atlas was as a legendary Atlas, king of Mauritania, an expert astronomer. Encounter with Hercules. One of the 12 labors of the hero Heracles was to fetch some of the golden apples which grow in Hera's garden, tended by Atlas's daughters, the Hesperides, and guarded by the dragon Ladon. Heracles went to Atlas and offered to hold up the heavens while Atlas got the apples from his daughters. Upon his return with the apples, however, Atlas attempted to trick Heracles into carrying the sky permanently permanently by offering to deliver the apples himself, as anyone who purposely took the burden must carry it forever or until someone else took it away. Heracles, suspecting Atlas did not intend to return, pretended to agree to Atlas's offer, asking only that Atlas take the sky again for a few minutes so Heracles could rearrange his cloak as padding on his shoulders. When Atlas set down the apples and took the heavens upon his shoulders again, Heracles took the apples and ran away. In some versions, Heracles instead built the two great pillars of Hercules to hold the sky away from the earth, liberating Atlas much as he liberated Prometheus. Etruscan Ail. The identifying name Ail is inscribed on two 5th-century Etruscan bronze items, a mirror from Vulci and a ring from an unknown site. Both objects depict the encounter with Atlas of Hercule, the Etruscan Heracles, identified by the inscription. They represent rare instances where a figure from Greek mythology is imported into Etruscan mythology, but the name is not. The Etruscan name Ail is etymologically independent. Children. Sources describe Atlas as the father, by different goddesses, of numerous children, mostly daughters. Some of these are assigned conflicting or overlapping identities of parentage in different sources. By Hesperides, the Hesperides. By Pleione, the Hyades, a son, Hyades, the Pleiades. By one or more unspecified goddesses, Calypso, Dione. Cultural influence. Atlas's best-known cultural association is in cartography. The first publisher to associate the Titan Atlas with a group of maps was the printseller Antonio Lafreri. On the engraved title page he applied to his ad hoc assemblages of maps, Tavol moderne di geografia della maggior parte del mondo di diversi autori. However, he did not use the word Atlas in the title of his work, an innovation of Gerardus Mercator, who dedicated his Atlas specifically to honor the Titan Atlas, king of Mauritania, a learned philosopher, mathematician, and astronomer. He actually depicted the astronomer king